EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in Week 2. And it was the Falcons getting the road victory in that one. So they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Atlanta. From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. Operating from the gun, Penix. Looking deep here for Mooney. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. 3rd down here. And you look at this Saints defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Here's Penix. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The Falcons send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And they punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Nowak. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, a pick 6 on the first play of the drive. And, Charles, we have our first points of the game, making it 6-0.
And while it's only 6 points in the first quarter, it certainly takes a lot of pressure off of them, doesn't it? They're in the lead. They have control. Now they just want to settle in and play their game and defend that advantage.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And able to get this out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Flush to his right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
In motion goes the tight end. On first down, Clay. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. You talk about this Falcon defense. They enter play here, number 11, just outside the top 10 of the league in stopping the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Nowak. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now Penix. And complete to Drake London. Now he's loose at the 40. Drake London. Touchdown, Falcons! Drake London, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
They're on the 30-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Up the middle they go. Clay. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
To the air, Penix. That's complete to Robinson. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down.
Well, this defense for the Saints, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And looking to throw, Penix. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
And looking to throw, Penix.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Nowak. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Franklin. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay.
And just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
to throw. Nowak. Gets it complete to A.T. Perry. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Nowak. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jelani Woods. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Falcons 14, Saints 7.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Penix. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll throw with Penix. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
19 tight.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Here is third and quite a ways. Penix working out of the gun here. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up fourth down.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here.
At their own 15-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage here by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
Now back to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He lets it go deep for Olave. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
On the move past the 40, and he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
A couple extra tight ends are in. 3rd and goal from the 1. It's a quarterback sneak, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
It's their quarterback, scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
19 Tiger.
Robinson with another carry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Second and 10. Penix to the air once more. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Mustang 19. 19 Lion.
They'll look to throw again. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Buffalo 18.
To throw again is Penix. Right back to Pitts again. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Penix. And it's caught. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Falcons 24, Saints 14.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right. Because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
They'll run on 1st down. Clay. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Nowak. His throw incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Back to throw. Nowak. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 24-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. They'll look to throw now on first down. That's Olave bringing in another one. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now a handoff up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 17 yards out. And the Saints are back within a score. Well, you know, you can't get all the points back at once, but baby steps a good start.
A start that was sorely needed because this team looked like they might be out of this one, but getting a touchdown, getting back into it, gives them hope as they move forward.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
From the 31, here's a second down and 9. Now Penix. That's complete to Mooney. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now third down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
79 Broncos.
On third down, Penix from the gun. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace, Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Looking to throw, Penix. And this will be caught by Mooney. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. And looking to throw, Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
18 Cardinal. Set go.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
And here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down.
Trap 60.
They'll throw with Penix. He finds Robinson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 16. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Robinson up the middle. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Third down and 1. They'll go play action here with Penix. Rolling to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Michael Penix taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Falcons are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking, nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go now.
Looking to throw. Nowak. And that is incomplete here.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Operating from the gun, Penix. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Panther 11. Sight.
To the air, Penix. Looking deep here from Mooney. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Saints are right back in this football game. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Nowak sliding out of the pocket. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
The Saints on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Nowak. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Got an open man. It's Olave.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 43. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to throw. Nowak. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
And the Falcons will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He's got his man downfield. That's Bateman.
Touchdown, Falcons!
Rashad Bateman.
55 yards.
And the Falcons look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. Nowak. And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick six.
And how about the way they've played this entire game? Not only have they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick sixes, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8.
Back to throw. Nowak.
That's taken in by Franklin.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Up the middle they go. Clay. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Nowak.
Olave holds it in.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 25-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun. Nowak. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Nowak.
Completes it to Perry.
They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back, and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. Now he's free to midfield. How about this? And down to the 27-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Falcons, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home